Coming to the stage right now, a member of our house group of MCs, a member of the Comedy Deli Improv Group, and making his official first-time debut to the stage as an MC, my friend, JP!
Thank you for supporting local comedy. Thank you for supporting the lounge. What a great place. I am JPB. I am your host this evening. Thank you. Thank you. So in my real day job, I'm a computer programmer. And I did that because somebody told me that, you know, if you work and do what you love for work, you'll never work a day in your life. And that sounded awesome, but I got to tell you, in 27 years, I work a lot of freaking days. Right? And when 5 o'clock comes around, I hit the easy chair. I turn into an Amish farmer. My feet up. I've got a 75-inch flat screen TV. I've got air conditioning. I've got a full bar. Other than that, Amish farmer. It never fails. Right about the time I get comfortable, I hear from the other room my wife yell, "Damn it, it happened again!" What happened, honey? Every time I try to log into the online banking site, I get all these dick pics that pop up. Now I got two choices, right? I can leave my Amish paradise, go fix it. Or I can convince her that it is a new security feature the bank has implemented. Honey, just click on the dicks. She loves online banking now. She's in there constantly. In fact, my credit score has gone up 50 whole points in the last month. But it's not just me, right? It's every job. I imagine, like, for the Pope, it's kind of the same thing, right? Right now, the Pope is coming home from work. You know, he takes off his Pope hat, he takes off his robe, he looks in the mirror. Hey, stick 'em up. So a couple things. First thing is, in my mind, the Pope is always Italian, right? Secondly, he wants to be a cowboy. Now, why does the Pope want to be a cowboy? Well, think about it. There are no Italian cowboys. I think when you talk with your hands and count in Roman numerals, it's really hard to win a gunfight. Hey, come on. But the point is the Pope has dreams and aspirations, right? The Pope wants to do things besides deal with youth centers all day, right? And that's the point. When you do it for work, it stops being fun, right? You don't want to do it anymore. And that's why we should all feel sorry for gynecologist wives. Now, speaking of having sex with your wife, for those of you that are younger in relationships, I'm not pointing at anybody at all. For those that are young, they don't tell you that there's like stages to intimacy in your life. And when you first start dating, and you're feeling each other out, that's kind of fun, right? And then she farts in front of you, and that's when the kinky phase starts, right? Everything's on, you do everything. And then she decides one day that it's time to have children. And so now there's rules, right? When you can do it, how you have to finish, those types of things. The kid comes, you go on the shelf, and oh, guess what? Now it's appointment sex. Right? You trade email reminders. Hey, how about Saturday? Saturday work. That's the stage I'm in. And man, I can't hit yes fast enough. But then you get to the stage, what I like to call heroic acts. And I can best describe it like this. Heroic acts is when your grandfather will drive halfway across the country to pick you up, and your sister pukes on him the whole way back to Arkansas, and he drives 12 hours back. It's not because he loves you. It's because Grandma loves you. And this will make Grandma very happy. And if he's lucky, maybe Grandma will take her teeth out. You guys like impressions?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do an impression for you. This is my impression of, did anybody see the Elvis movie that came out in like 2 years ago? Yeah, Elvis. You get an Elvis impression. But the guy that did that is Australian. And he went back to Australia after making the movie, and he couldn't stop talking like Elvis. So he had to hire a vocal coach to come in and teach him how to talk Australian again. So this is my impression of Australian Elvis. Okay? I gotta get into character. Let me say one thing, though. It's obviously in the Las Vegas Elvis. Right? This isn't the good-looking Elvis. Hey, the dingo ate your baby, baby. Let's go get a blooming onion. Thank you very much. much. Thank you very much. I mentioned my wife. I mentioned that we've had sex at least. I have 3 kids 3 times. And man, I have to apologize to a lot of the younger millennials and you Gen Zers because I really believe it was the Generation X generation that screwed up kids by the way we parent. But it's not our fault. You see, think about the way like my parents came up. My parents were born in the 30s. Disease, wars, rusty jungle gyms, right? Kids died. But now we've got vaccines. We make baby cribs out of materials other than used straw and barbed wire. And now for the first time in human history, our generation, Generation X, the expectation is that all the kids live. And that's not fair. And you can't tell me, I don't care where you fall on the political spectrum, you cannot tell me the science has proven that there's a better way to deal with a kid who's a jerk than smallpox. That's not an option. We have a vaccine for that now. Another thing about being a parent where you can really screw your kids up is when it comes time for you to talk to them about masturbation. Right? Now I remember my talk with my dad. We're in the car, I'm like 14. And he just looks at me and he says, "So are you beat off yet?" How the hell are you going to answer that, right? So he says, "Hey, if you say no, there's either something wrong with you or you're lying. I think it's time that you wash your own sheets." Now, armed with that, well, my youngest came to me one day and he says, "Daddy, how do you masturbate?" And I looked at him, those big eyes, and I said, "Son, precisely the way your mother tells me to. If you've seen me take out the garbage, you've seen me masturbate." Speaking of masturbation, I don't understand all this thing with, and I'm not trying to be that boomer adjacent guy, all these guys sending dick pics to girls. I think you can tell a lot more about a man by the way he masturbates, and that's why I think you guys should send masturbation videos. Now, bear with me. You got a guy on there that's basically just doom scrolling through Pornhub, not really interested. Well, that tells you something about him. Or maybe you have that guy that he's, "Oh, I love you so much, I wish we could be together forever." Now, he's going to be a little clingy. He'll probably follow you out of town when you try to move to start your career. That's just the kind of guy he is. And then you got the guy that's in the bathroom, "Told me to pick up my clothes and you just didn't." Right? And that might be your thing. And that's fine. But you're going to have, you're not going to walk right tomorrow. And ladies, I cannot stress this enough. If he's on his knees and he's watching gay porn, it's not going to work. Find someone else.